Hi everyone, this is Alexandra Baker and today is the 18th of August 2024. I'm a Polish-British mixed media artist that works with various mediums ranging from traditional ones such as charcoal and acrylic painting to more modern ones such as digital art and jewelry making. Recently, I even made my first ever bronze sculpture. My journey with art began when I moved to Poland at the age of 7. Moving from the UK to Poland was a really big adjustment, as I only spoke a little bit of Polish that my mum taught me when we used to live in the UK. And I ended up breaking my leg very early into my stay in Poland, and I didn't really have anything to do after school. So my mum signed me up to a youth club where I could drop in after 3 p.m. and do various activities such as play on computers or learn guitar. I decided to learn art, of course, and I attended lots of art lessons. And that's where I met my favourite art teacher, Mrs. Dorota, who I'm still in contact with today, ever since I was 7, so many years. She did a fantastic job teaching me the basic skills that I needed to draw, to colour in, to paint. I just fell in love with it straight away, and I was doing art every day after school practically. I never stopped going, and I just remember that we never drew from smartphones or computers. It was always from books in our mind, more technical stuff. When I was drawing animals, I'd open a book and I'd find an animal and I'd copy it from the book, and then with colours and stuff, it all come from my mind. So I think I was really lucky in terms of starting really young without smartphones and stuff, because I think it really opened my mind to creativity. Over time, as I got older and I went to high school and started studying art there, I learnt a lot about incorporating meaning and culture into art. It wasn't the idea wasn't fully developed, but it was there, and it was the start. I also learnt a lot of different techniques there that I wouldn't really think about. So that's kind of where my journey began, and today I'm still expanding and still exploring. I look at very different themes, lots of different themes that I've encountered throughout my life, and I don't really stick to one specific theme or one specific medium. I love exploring, and I don't think I'll ever stop, to be honest. My biggest influences in art that I look up to are definitely people who have taught me. So, for example, Mrs. Dorota, that taught me from when I was a baby. I've recently made a bronze sculpture, and I met a fantastic artist. He taught me so much, and he inspired me so much. When I came into the course, I was oh, I have this brilliant idea for a sculpture, I'm definitely going to do it. And then I saw all his work, and I was right, I'm scratching my idea. We're going to do something completely different, because he's inspired me so much. And it's just so nice learning from people that are surrounding you, not just from bigger artists or people from the internet. Although, of course, I do get inspired by bigger artists, such as Gerhard Richter for some of my more abstract paintings, and then Zdzisław Beksiński in terms of mood. Oh, his paintings are amazing, so detailed. I don't really do paintings as detailed as him, but the mood that he sets in his painting is so inspiring. At the moment, I am focusing on developing my jewelry making. I make jewelry out of secondhand beads, and I'm trying to create a small business around it called Chromatica. So if you want to go check that out, I'll plug the Instagram at the end of this interview. But I started making jewellery about 2 years ago, and I've come a long way, but I'm still learning. But it's a very amazing way to release mindless creativity. And sometimes I really feel pressured to create something really, really meaningful. But then I just want to sit down and just mess around, see what I can make. And jewelry is that for me. I'm learning a lot of techniques at the moment and learning what's best for my jewelry, so it's still a long way in development, but that's what I'm working on. And I'm trying to keep it as sustainable as possible with my secondhand beads, and maybe one day even secondhand wire and secondhand jump hoops, but we'll see how that goes. The biggest challenge of being an artist is finding a way to make money from it. As a young artist, I dream of making money from my art. It's always been one of my dreams, and I really want it to come true, but it's so hard, especially in London. It's so competitive. I can't even get a receptionist job that I applied to. But hopefully one day this will become a dream come true. But we'll see how it goes. The advice I would give to my younger self is that everything will fall into place and skills will improve with practice. I used to really put myself down when I couldn't draw something or where I created a piece that I really didn't like. But now I realise that, it's all development and exploration that will create refined work in the end. And to be honest, I feel like I've only started to make my more refined work, and it's taken me a long, long time, but we finally got there. So everything will fall into place. So I wouldn't say this is an unconventional method for me now, but when I was younger, I went to this course where they taught us how to paint with unconventional materials such as string, sticks, dipped in ink. And at the time I was like, oh wow, this is so cool, because it was so refreshing to just focus on creating something new and focusing on the shapes instead of creating a piece that is so perfect and such a representation of reality. And I fell in love with it so much that I still use it in my work till today. So, not as conventional now, but in the past, definitely. When I'm creating art, I do listen to music. I don't really listen to any specific music. It just depends on the day. Sometimes I have a really random playlist on of my favourite songs. Then sometimes I have jazz, sometimes even I have a podcast. Like when I make my jewellery, I usually listen to a podcast. Because I find when I make jewellery, it's kind of very mindless, whereas when I paint, it's more mindful, so I'm more focused on the painting than the actual music. But for example, when I was making the sculpture, I didn't listen to any music. I was literally just focused on the sculpture. So it really varies for me, I'd say. The best reaction to my artwork anybody has ever had was when I was moving a painting from my house to a friend's house that recently got married. The painting was inspired by Georgia, the country that they got married in, and I got so many compliments on the street and so many smiles, and it made me feel so warm inside. I really, really loved it, and I was really happy. So, yeah, it was really good. It really made my day. I hope people take from my art the sense of connection and introspection. I want them to look really deep into the pieces and see all the different images that I create with shapes because I feel like they're very different to others. Like my perspective could be very different to somebody else's perspective. And a lot of my art represents my emotion, but I kind of want to see what other people feel when they see my art. For example, I have a painting where I was very angry, and you can really feel the anger, but I also kind of want to see if the viewer can tell that I was angry, if that makes sense. And I also want them to kind of open their minds, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really want them to think that there's one set thing that art can be. I want them to think creatively and open pathways in their mind, and I want them to see what they think, and I want them to be able to take away this feeling that their thinking matters and that their creativity also is important. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I really appreciate you listening to me and allowing me to share my world with you. I currently have an upcoming event in the Museum of Croydon on the 23rd of August. We're going to be making flower-themed jewellery from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you're interested in that, I'll be there. Come say hi. And then if you want to go see my jewellery Instagram, it is at chromatica.jewelry. So at chromatica.jewellery. Thank you so much. Bye.